Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss some of the MATLAB basics. So I had already completed the two videos regarding the MATLAB basics. Let me revise what I had discussed in the two videos. So all these I had already discussed. So these are the topics we have covered in this particular MATLAB complete tutorial. So all these 16 topics are covered in this particular tutorial. I had already completed the 10 topics. Today we are going to complete the remaining topics, that is MATLAB decision making statement, MATLAB loop statements, some of the useful string functions in the MATLAB, and how we are going to plot the graphs in the MATLAB, and what are the graphics, how we are going to display the bar charts, counters, all these are how we have to display by using the MATLAB programming, and different types of the transforms. We are discussing only Laplace and Fourier. Different types of the transforms are available. So in this particular tutorial, I am going to concentrate only on Laplace and the Fourier transforms. I had already completed all these topics: introduction, features, environment, different types of the symbols and operators used, and how we are going to create the vectors, how we are going to create the matrices, different types of the commands, data types, operators, all these 10 topics are already completed in part 1 and part 2 video. If you don't see that video, please go through this video. I had given the links in the descriptions. So all these 10 topics are already completed. Now we are going to concentrate on MATLAB decision making state. All these topics are already covered. So now we are going to discuss MATLAB decision making statements. It is a part 3 of the MATLAB programming. So what is the decision making statement? If statement, if else statement, if else if statement, or nested if statement, or switch statement, nested switch statement, etc. All these are the decision making statements in the MATLAB programming. So if followed by end is called if statement. If else statement, after that you have to give end at the end of the program for terminating the if else condition. If else if statement, nested if statement, nested if statement. So if you write the if statement within another if statement, we can get the nested if within the if switch statement. A switch statement allows a variable to be tested for equality against a list of values. Nested switch statement, you can use one switch statement inside the another switch statement. If you use one if statement inside the another if statement, that is called nested if. If you use one switch statement inside the another switch statement, it is called the nested switch statement. So see here the syntax of the if statement, that is if followed by the expression. So if the statement will be true, the following statement will be executed, otherwise it will come out of the end. The what are the part available after the end, that will be executed if the statement, the particular statement is not true. Okay, if else statement, it is the syntax of the if else statement. If the following statement is true, this statement will be executed, otherwise else part statement will be executed. If else followed by end. If you want to terminate this condition, you have to give the end, the command. Okay, it is a program. So it is a simple program based on the decision. In order to understand the decision making statements, the MATLAB programming. So here I am initializing the value a. For a I am giving the value 100. So if a is equal to 10, if the condition is true, so value of a is 10. If this condition is true, you have to print value of a is 20. Here we are using for printing, we are using the fprintf. So if else if a equal to 20, you have to print this statement, value of a is 30. If all these statements are going to be false, you have to print none of the values are matching the exact value of a is. Okay, you have to give the exact value of the a. A equal to 100, a value is not 10, not 20, not 30. So this statement will be executed. None of the following values are matching. So exact value of a is 100. will come as a output. Let me show you this practically in the MATLAB programming environment. So for time being, I am just copying and paste the program. So it is a program what I had written there. So I will just copy and paste it. I will just paste all this. It is a program. Here, see here, it is a green line is there. No, it is a command line. A command line, we are giving the percentile symbol, so it will act as a command line. It won't be executed. Okay, I am just saving it. I am just saving the program. And after that, in editor window, I will just press the button run. So we can get the output in the command window. See here, command window, none of the values are matching. The exact value of A is 100. We can get the output like this. Okay. Next, it is a switch statement syntax. Switch statement followed by the switch expression. We are using the case statements there. Okay, it is the AND condition. After all these case statements are ended, we are giving the command called the AND. It is the syntax for the switch statement. Please go through this syntax. So after that, loop statements. So decision making statements are completed. Loop statements. What is this loop statement? Loop statement allows us to execute a statement for a group of statements multiple times. It will allow the user to execute a group of statements multiple times. Here we are having the while loop. Here we are having simple program in order to understand the while loop. So for A equal to 10, while A value is less than 20, you have to print value of the A. After that, you have to increment the value A equal to A plus 1. After that, while statement followed by the AND command. See here, first of all, the controller will come here. 10 less than 20, true. It will be incremented. Value of A is 10. Value of again it will be incremented by 11. 11 is less than 20. The condition is again true. So the value of A is again it will be printed. Again it will be incremented to 12. Again it is 2. Again it will be incremented to 13. Again it will be incremented to 14. 14 is also true. 14 less than 20 is also true. Again it will be incremented to 15. 15 is less than 20 is also true. 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 less than 20, it is also true. 20 less than 20, false. It will come out of the A. So it will print the value of the A up to 19, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Up to 19, it will print the value of the A. Okay, it will execute the group of statements the multiple times there. So it is the simple program in order to understand the per statement or per loop in a MATLAB program. For A equal to 10 is to 20. Okay, here we can between 10 and 20 we can specify that particular range also. Okay, for increment purpose. So fprintf, in order to print the values we are using that fprintf. Okay, value of A is 10 to 20. Here it will print the values up to 10 to 20. So it is the first statement followed by the AND command. Okay, it will simple program in order to understand the difference between while and for loops. So after that, break statement. How we are using the break statement? Here the break terminates the loop statement and transfers the execution to the statement immediately following the loop. So see here we are using the break statement. First of all, I am initializing A with the 10. After that, I am using the while loop. While A less than 20, fprintf, we have to print the value of the A. Here I am using the increment for the A. After that, if A greater than 15, you have to terminate the loop by using the break statement. It will followed by if followed by end command and while followed by end command. After that, the program will be ended. So it will print the values up to 10 to 50. So it will be, first of all, the controller will comes here 10 less than 20, true. Value of A is 10. Again it will be incremented 11. 11 less than 20, true. Value of A is 11. Again it will be incremented 12. 12 less than 20, true. Value of A is 12. 13, 14, 15. 15 less than 20, it is also true. Value of A is 15. So after greater than the 15, it will just terminate the loop. If you use the break statement, if you just use the break statement, it will terminate up to 15. Here we are declaring, declaring, if a is greater than 15, you have to terminate that particular while loop. Okay, it will just break that condition. Okay, you have to print the values 10 to 15 by using this particular program. So continue statement, it causes the loop to skip the remainder of its body and immediately reset its condition prior to reiterating. Okay, you are using the continue statement in the programming. So same thing, a value 10, I am initializing one value, that is a equal to 10. After that, while a less than 20, if a less than 20, this condition will be executed. If a is equal to 15, this is skip the iteration, it will be incremented. After that, we are using the continue statement there. So for if followed by end and f printf, again I am incrementing while followed by end. It will print the values up to 10 to 19 there. So it will print the values up to 10 to 19 there. Okay. So see here, for time being, I am not going to explain this program. Why? Because already I had explained this program. Same thing. So if you execute the following statement, we can get the a value from 10 to 19. Okay. So these are the some of the useful string functions in the MATLAB. These are the most frequently used string functions. Number of string functions are available. Here I am going to discuss some of the frequent functions that are some of the useful, some of the important string functions. Okay. Cell str, it will just create the cell array of strings from character array. Strcat. It will just concatenate the strings horizontally. Concatenation means combination of the strings. Okay. Str join, it will just join the strings in cell array into a single string. Okay. strcmp, it will just compare the strings. Okay, it is case sensitive. Next, lower, it will convert the string into the lower case. It will just convert the string into the upper case. Group of characters is nothing but string, no. So it will convert, if you use the command lower, if you use the command, or if you use this lower as a function, it will just convert the string into the lower case. If you use this function or this command, it will just convert the string into the upper case. You can use this lower, upper as a command as well as a type of a function. Okay. Str find one string within the another string. Strrep, it will just find and replaces the substring. Okay, these are some useful functions used in the MATLAB. See here, strarray, red, blue, green, yellow, orange, etc. So I want to join into a single string. For that I am using the str1. We have to join the string. So after that, for str1, I am initializing str1 with str join strarray. So for str2, I am giving like this. If you run the following program, you can get the output like this. Here I am separating the each colors, or if you separating each string with the commas. So here we are getting the commas. Here I am separating the each string with the space. Here we are getting the spaces in the output. So when you just run the file, we can just the following output will be displayed on the MATLAB command window. Okay. So plotting. So it is a advanced MATLAB programming. For x equal to 0:5:100, y equal to x. Plot x comma y. I have to plot. Here I am considering one function. Here I am considering the value of the x. After that I am considering one function. That is y equal to x. It is one of the function. You have to plot the graph between the x and y. It will just display the graph like this. See here, I wanted to plot the graph in the MATLAB. So I am just removing all these things. So I just want to plot the graph. What here mentioned, x equal to 0:5:100. So I am just typing. See here, x equal to 0 is to 5 is to 100. And I am declaring one function, that is y equal to x. After that, y is equal to x. After that, we are using the command plot x comma y. I am just plotting x comma y. After that, I will save the file. We run. See here, the graph will be obtained between the x and y. The graph will be obtained. See here, again I will run. See here, the graph will be obtained. In this way, we can see the output in the MATLAB. Clear, guys? Okay. Next, we are using some of the commands. I had already discussed all these commands. Anyway, we are going to discuss once again. The x label and y label commands, it will generate the labels along the x and y axis. X label means it will just give the name of the x axis. Y label means it will just give the name of the y axis. See here, if I just run. See, if I mention the x label means it will just give the name of this x axis. If I just mention the y label in the program, it will just give the name of the y axis. If I mention title means it will just name this particular figure name. It will just mention, it will just display the name of this particular graph. Okay. Next, grid on. If I give the command grid on, it will just put the grid lines. If I just see here the figure, if I just give the command, it will just display the grid lines on this particular graph. Okay, the axis equal command allows, it is axis equal is also one of the command. It will just allow generating the plot within the same scale factors and the spaces on both axes. Next, axis square command is also there. It will generate the square plot. So these are the different types of the command. While we are plotting the graphs, we have to use all these commands. So in order to display the sine function, we are just giving the program, that is x value, that is 0 is to 0.01 is to 10. So x value will be range from 0 to 10. It will be incremented by 0.01 every time. Okay, here I am giving the one function, that is y equal to sine x. I am just plotting the x and y. X label means x axis name x, y axis name sine x. The title will be sine x graph. Grid on means I will just display the grid lines on this, like this. You will just display the grid lines on the graph. This is axis equal. I am giving the another command, that is axis equal. Okay, so I will execute following program. I will just copying the program for time being. See here, I will just remove. I am just saving the program. After that, I will run. See here, the graph will be obtained like this. Sin x graph will be obtained. See here, it is the x-axis name is x, y-axis name sin x, will be the title sin x graph. Title will be sin x graph. You can get the output. Okay. Okay. Next, colors in the plotting. We can differentiate the different types of the curves by using the colors also. So x equal to minus, it will the x values range from minus 10 to 10. For every time we are incrementing with 0.01. So here I am considering one function, that is y equal, I am just considering one polynomial equation, y equal to 3x power 4 plus 2x cube plus 7x square plus 2x plus 9. Here I am g value, that is 5x cube plus 9x plus 2. So I want to plot all these functions. For I am getting the red value for in the graph. I wanted to display the red color. I wanted to display the green color. Here R means red color. Here Z means green color. Okay, I want to display these two functions with two different colors. For that, I am giving R and Z. Okay, in order to differentiate these two functions, I am specifying the two colors. So see here, I am just executing following program in the MATLAB. I am just copying it. I'm just going to remove and just going to paste it. After that I will save. If I run, see here, if I run, we can get one curve with red value and another curve with green value. In this way we can differentiate the two functions. We can display the multiple functions. We can display the multiple functions at a time also. We can display multiple functions at a time also by by separating these curves with different types of the colors. So like this, it is a red color, green color, etc. Okay. After that, subplot command. When you create an array of plots in the same figure, each of these plot is called a subplot. So the subplot, the way of defining the subplot in MATLAB programming is subplot m comma n comma p, where m and n are the number of rows and columns of the plot. M is the number of rows, n is the number of columns, and p specifies where to put a particular plot. So it is a subplot. Here I am giving x value ranges from 0 to 5. Incremented each time it will increment 0.01. So I am considering one function, that is y equal to e power minus 1.5x into sin 10x. It will be one function. I am considering one function. You can consider any function also. I am just considering this function. Then subplot 1 to 1. After that I want to plot the graph xy. X-axis name is x, y-axis name is like this. See, it is the axis there. So it will be the one of the axis command there. After that I am considering the another function, y equal to e power minus 2x into sin 10x. After that I will give the command subplot command. I want to plot the x and y. X-axis name x, y-axis name is this function, and axis will be like this. So I am just going to execute this program practically. So I am just copying the entire program for time being. We'll just remove all these things. See here. After that I will run. So see here graph. We can obtain the graph like this. We can obtain these two graphs like this. Same thing what I had displayed there. MATLAB also we can get this like this. Okay. Next, graphics. It is a advanced MATLAB program. Here I am initializing the value from 1 to 10 for x. Here I am considering the y value as. Here I am considering the 10 per students. Here I am considering the 10 students on the x-axis. Their marks per 100. Each student will get the marks. First student per 100 will get the 75 marks, 58 marks, 90 marks. These are the marks. For suppose I am considering, these are the marks. I am considering 10 students and their marks for 100. So bar. In order to display the bar graph, we are using the command called the bar. Remember guys, for displaying the bar graphs, we are using the command bar. We have to display the bar graph between the x and y, students and their marks. X-axis name student, y-axis name score. Title is first stem. I am just mentioning this bar graph title as first stem. So we have to print. For printing, we have to give this like this. So let me show you practically in MATLAB and software. So I am just copying this program. After that, see here, I will just going to remove this entire thing what we had done in the previous. After that I will paste and save. So I will run. See here, we can get the bar graph. Here x-axis name is student, y-axis name is score. Here, see here, x-axis name is student, y-axis name is score, y-axis name is score, and the title is first. Title is first. In this way, we can display the bar charts or bar graphs in the MATLAB software. Okay. It's clear, guys. After that, 2D plots. So x comma y, it is a mesh grid. -2 is to 0.2. Here the values is ranges from -2 to 2. Each time it will be incremented by 0.2. We can visualize this type of 2D plots also by using the MATLAB programming. For that I am considering one function, that is g equal to x into e power minus x square minus y. So I am considering one function. So after that I am using the command surf. For obtaining the surface plot I am using the command surf. For obtaining the bar graph I am using the command bar. For surface plot I am using the command surf x comma y comma z. After that, in order to print this type of the plot, we can just give like this. So let me show you practically in MATLAB programming. I am just going to remove all these things. After that I will just copy the program for time being, save and run. See here, we can get the output. See here, we can get the 2D plot like this. By using MATLAB we can show this type of the 2D graphs also. Okay, is it clear, guys? Okay, and next one, Laplace transforms. It is a advanced MATLAB program. By using MATLAB we can perform Laplace transform, Fourier transform, fast Fourier transform, filters also we can analyze by using MATLAB program. Every complex functions can be performed by using the MATLAB. Sometimes MATLAB is also called a complex calculator, no? So we can perform the Laplace transform. So here f of s, f of t, s and t are called the Laplace transform pairs. Actually s and t are called the Laplace transform pairs. So s and t are called the Laplace transform pairs. Remember this simple thing. So s and t are called Laplace transform pairs. So for in order to obtain the Laplace transform, I am just considering this program s, y, m, f, s, t, a, b, w. All these are the variables now. All these are the variables. So I wanted to obtain the Laplace transform of the a constant function. I wanted to know the Laplace transform of the t square, Laplace transform of t power 9, Laplace transform of e power minus bt, Laplace transform of sin omega t, Laplace transform of cos omega t. If to obtain the Laplace transform of these functions, Laplace transform of a is 1 by s square, Laplace transform of t square is 2 by s cube, Laplace transform of t power 9 is 362,889 by s power 10, Laplace transform of e power minus bt is 1 by b plus s, Laplace transform of sin omega t by omega by s square plus omega square, Laplace transform of cos omega t by cos omega t is equal to s by s square plus omega square. In order to obtain the Laplace transform, we are just using the command called Laplace. If you want to obtain the inverse Laplace transform, you have to just place inverse Laplace command there. Okay, we can get the output in the form of a t. Here we are getting the output in the s variables, 1 by b plus s to 1 by s square. So if you display the inverse Laplace transforms, the output will get in the form of a t. Okay, so I am just executing this following Laplace practically in order to get more clarity. So I am just copying the program what I had mentioned in the slide. I am just copying. So I am just removing all these things. I am just copying, and after that I will paste. So here I am not terminating the statements with semicolons. If I terminate the semicolon, you have to type the following for particular command in the command window. I am not terminating, directly we can get the outputs. Okay, I am saving. After that I will press the run. See here, see the command window. See the command window. See here, we can get the outputs: 1 by s square, 2 by s cube, 362,880 by s power 10, 1 by b plus s. All these are the outputs. Okay, clear? Next, Fourier transform. It is also one of the transform. Okay, for in order to display the Fourier transform, I am just considering this type of a program f by ms x. I am just considering one variable x. After that, f equal to exponential of that is e power minus 2x square. After that, we have to plot the function. After that, you want to know the Fourier transform of e power minus 2x square. Fourier transform, you want to obtain the Fourier transform of e power minus 2x square, and also we want the plot of the e power minus 2x square. By using this program, we can obtain the Fourier transform of e power minus 2x square. We can also obtain the plot of e power minus 2x square. This is the program for getting the plot as well as transform. Okay, if you execute the following program, we can get the plot like this and Fourier transform like this. Let me show you practically. Copy. I am just copying. I am just removing this previous program. I am just removing this previous program. In order to clear this whole command window, I am just giving the command clc dot enter. See here the command window command history will be erased. Okay, so I am just pasting, saving. After that, if I click the button run, see here the plot will be obtained. For a e power minus 2x square plot will be like this. After that, we can also get the Fourier transform of e power minus 2x square is 2 power 1 by 2, that is root 2 into root pi. It is root pi into e power minus omega square by 8 by 2. It will be the Fourier transform of e power minus 2x square. It is the Fourier transform of e power minus 2x square. And what is the plot of e power minus 2x square? It will be the plot or the graph of the minus 2 e power minus 2x square. In this way, we can obtain the complex transforms, Fourier transform. Fast Fourier transform also we can obtain. Inverse fast Fourier transform also we can obtain. DFT also we can obtain. DTFT also we can obtain. By using MATLAB program, we can analyze the different types of the filters also, like FIR filters, IR filters. Like any complex calculations can be done by using the MATLAB program. Okay, thank you guys. It will be the end of this particular MATLAB tutorial.